What's up, YouTube? I'm Mike, and I'm a psychopath. I have not been adding that addition to these videos, and it's very important. I know some of you are not really buying into this, but you cannot imagine how much my life has changed since that realization. Really, what I should say is how much my family's life have changed since that understanding. Today is going to be an interesting video because I can't call it for sure yet, but I'm pretty confident that I may have been lied to about this job, which puts me in a really precarious situation. So I told you guys yesterday in this Crash Out series that my plan was to basically quit life. And I wasn't going to do anything to get a job, etc. And then this great job offer falls in my lap. And the lengthy interview process, and like I said yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I mean, everything was going as good as it could go. Like literally every interview, I left the interview or the meeting or whatever, and I would replay it in my mind, and I was like, there's not a single thing that I regret saying, like it was perfect. Like I wouldn't change anything. I felt like everything went really good. And just so you know, like I've never not been offered a job. This is like a new experience for me. Like if I go on an interview, the only times I've been on an interview and didn't get offered a job was because either I wanted more money than they were willing to pay, or the territory they had available wasn't, basically it was like they wanted to hire me, but the conditions weren't right. It's never been like, oh, we're not interested in you. That may have happened one time actually when I was looking for a job when I first got back from traveling, and I took a lot of random interviews. And there was one company that sold hydraulics or some shit that I was like totally not qualified for. But like anytime I've ever been to like an in-person interview and really project, and sold myself, I have always been offered work. So it's kind of when I don't get a job, like I'm automatically somewhat suspicious. And so I sent a follow-up email to two of the people that I'd interviewed with and kind of developed a relationship with, and said, hey, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I can't tell you how disappointed that I am to not be working with you guys. I really felt like all of our conversations were really great, and that we would have worked. I felt like everything was going so great. So if really what happened is you guys have a better qualified candidate, I totally appreciate that. But you have a couple of other, this company is hiring for several of the same position in different locations. So like they have they were interviewing me for a job that they could give me in a different territory. It might require me to move, but I would be willing to do that given the amount of money that they're offering. So if they really liked me for this job, which they certainly appeared to, and it was just a matter of a more qualified person happened to arrive in the DFW Metroplex, well then what about one of these other territories? And so I sent an email and said, I just want you guys to know, I still really want to come to work for your company. Would you consider me for another territory? Or the ID technology is owned by a company called Promoc, which owns like 90 companies. So like when you go to ID Technology, to their website, and you look at their career listings, the career listings are not just for ID Technology. They're for all of the subsidiaries. And so it's like throw me a fucking bone, man. Like, connect me to somebody who's hiring for one of these other positions. I'm a proven killer in the sales game. I've been making $100+ K a year straight commission for the last 10 consecutive years. Like, I don't know what else you need on a fucking resume. Straight commission, earned 6 figures for 10 consecutive years. Case fucking closed. Like, what are we talking about here? And so there should be some position available for a guy like me. Unless, of course, there's a reason that despite my impeccable resume and my proven track record as an excellent salesman, there's something that people are figuring out that's making them not want to hire me. This YouTube channel. That's what's happening, guys. What's happening, what's fucking up my life right now, what's preventing me from making a fucking living, I think is that all the links that I've gone to try to separate this from me personally have failed. And if you did, you really don't have to dig that hard to find this. And because I'm entirely too real and too raw, if somebody sits, I mean, a hiring manager could just look at the titles of my videos and go, nope, not interested. Obviously, this YouTube channel hasn't affected my ability to make a living. It's not stopping me from being successful in sales, but it panics hiring managers. And so that puts me into a situation where I feel like I only have one of two choices, right? Like there's only two things I can do. If in fact, unless I get an email in the next day or two from one of these people and they're like, sorry, I was on vacation, or, apologize for, I was looking into options for you. Unless I get something, if these people just ghost me completely after the level of rapport we had, then it's clear they found out something that they basically legally can't say, or they don't want to say. They don't want to say, we didn't hire you despite the fact that you're perfectly qualified and we invested 8 hours or 6 hours in interviewing you and bringing you to our corporate office and vetting you 16 ways from Sunday, but we can't hire somebody who makes YouTube content like you. They don't want to say that. I don't know if they can legally say it. They probably can, but they definitely don't want to say that. So if they just ghost me completely, that to me is proof positive that they found this channel and figured out that they're dealing with a complete lunatic in his personal life. It's like, who gives a shit? I mean, if we based hiring decisions on people's personal lives, everybody in Congress would get fired tomorrow. The president would be fired tomorrow. Like, nobody would be able to work in this fucking world if we put a fucking microscope, magnifying glass on everybody's personal life. We're all up to some scandalous, nasty shit, right? I just happen to be one that just talks openly about it. My customers could find this, and they wouldn't. They're probably up to the same crazy shit. Who gives a fuck? Like I said, it's never prevented me from making a living, but it seems to have gotten to that point now. It's just too easy for people to find this kind of content, and it's not the kind of thing where I could just go and try to sanitize my channel. Basically, what I'm going to have to do, or what the proposition is, that I'm going to have to delete all of this content, completely sanitize my social media presence, delete my X account, delete, I've already privated my fucking, my Instagram account, clean it out, make sure there's nothing too, take down my body, my profile picture is a topless bodybuilding picture. That's not professional, right? I would have to basically sell the fuck out completely as a human being and a man so that I can fucking bend the knee to the corporate taskmasters. Or I could say, fuck you. Fuck you to the man. I'm not going to take my fucking YouTube channel down. If I have to be making homeless YouTube videos, living in a fucking BMW, trying to, and I make a fucking, this channel already earns me about $300 a month if I don't do anything with it at all. Okay? I'm going to give you guys straight facts. This channel makes me about $300 a month if I don't even make a video. If I'm making videos every day, it does about double that, $600. I think if I was making videos homeless, that shit might be entertaining. I think I might make more. I might be able to make enough money literally living out of my fucking car, doing nothing but shooting busted ass YouTube videos, just trying showering at the gym, like a regular homeless guy. Just get that gym membership so you got a place to shower, get ready. I could I even hypothesized that what I could do is if I really did divorce my wife, I even came up with a way to how I could chase girls with no house, right? So here's what I would do. I would get a campsite at a state park and just deck out the tent real badass, And then and then when I would meet a girl, I would offer to take her camping for a date. I don't want to take you back to my house. That's so normal. Let's go camping together. Let's go hang out. And then I could just have an excuse to get a girl back to the tent. And I wouldn't even need a house. And bitches are dumb as fuck. You know, if you got a girl drunk in a club and she's all over it, she doesn't care where she's going. A tent, a fucking $30 motel, who gives a shit, right? I could probably live out of my BMW in a tent and blow up on YouTube and, and be fine. But the sex with my wife was really good. Guys, it's so fucking good. Sometimes I think that my wife has got, well, I don't think I know. Like, she even admitted the other night, like, she used to think that I was crazy and like she knows that I'm crazy, but she's now figured out like she's the crazy one. Like she's every bit as crazy, if not more fucking crazy than I am. I was telling her that we're both fucked up. It's just that like my crazy is functional crazy. Like I can be crazy and make this content and entertain you guys. Her crazy is like batshit, cause a lot of fucking problems, have terrible things happen to you that I'm not gonna talk about on camera. Crazy. Okay, that's dangerous crazy. She's the kind of crazy where a girl will basically push the buttons of a man of my size until I absolutely lose my shit and start tearing up the house. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, you don't push the buttons of a violent man over and over and over again and stay in that marriage. If you stay in those conditions, you are fucking crazy. Anybody with like any sense at all would go, this guy's dangerous. I gotta get the fuck out of here. It's not worth it. There's no amount of good sex that's worth it. Okay? So we're both fucking crazy. And the sex is really good. And I was telling her last night, I was like, we were talking about divorce and how she's gonna be like celibate forever, and and I was being a psychopath in here. Because we weren't talking. And so she's sitting in the other room playing Diablo 4, and I'm sitting in my room playing Diablo 4, and I got the curtains closed so she can't see me. So we got like this real mature thing happening where we have two separate rooms. And what does it occur to me to do? Dude, I made that girl sit in the other room after I told her I was going to divorce her. And I fucking played love songs for like 2.5 hours straight. I just blasted every single one of the like, songs about some girl who left a dude and regretted it. You're never going to stop thinking about me. I'm the one. You're never going to be happy. Like every fucking manipulative love song you can fucking imagine, I had on blast for like 2 consecutive fucking hours. She's in bed crying. And I was like, you do realize, right? Like, I'm going to keep fucking you even if we get divorced. That's going to happen, right? She's like, no, it's not. No, I'm not gonna let you do that. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna. I just really think I'm gonna be celibate. I was like, you're not gonna be celibate, okay? Everybody thinks that. I literally got on the phone in the middle of the conversation and looked up the statistics, right? So I'm giving her the statistics. I said, like, ask Grok, like, on average, how many men, how many short-term relationships does a divorcee, a girl who's just got divorced, on average, how many relationships does she have? Sexual relationships does she have before she finds like somebody who will commit to her? And it was like the answer was like on average 3.8. Okay, so my wife is trying to convince me that she's only ever been with her ex-husband. She was a virgin on her wedding night, which makes me 50% of her guy-related life. So if we get divorced, statistically speaking, she's going to sleep with 3.8 more other men before she finds one that might be willing to commit to her at the age of, by then probably 48, 49. And then you look at the divorce statistics, and then when you look at all the statistics of like how shitty the dating game is, what the likelihood is that you're going to get used sexually, because like she thinks that like we're going to get divorced and her libido is just going to dry up. I'm like, it's not, dude, it's not going. Trust me, I've been there, okay? It's not going to dry up, okay? You're going to get super fucking horny and you're going to go out and do something stupid and you're going to get played by a fucking guy. That's what's going to happen. And I said, so the only logical move for either of us here is if we get divorced, we just keep sleeping together. We can't live together. The sex is the one thing that works. We might as well just keep doing that. Like, why would either one of us go looking in this mess with all this risk and neither one of us is getting married again. The kids are, it's terrible for the kids. Like, you might as well just keep fucking. just don't live together, And so we're having this conversation, then we have like killer sex. I'm starting to think that like threatening divorce is like a fucking aphrodisiac for my wife. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's one for me. I don't know. So then of course, when I wake up this morning and I still haven't gotten a response from anybody at this company, and I start thinking, dude, it's my YouTube channel. That's what's fucking up my career path. I've got to delete my YouTube channel. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it. I really don't think I can do it. I should do it. This YouTube channel is definitely causing me more problems than it's worth. It doesn't make enough money. Like I probably just lost a 150 to 200K per year job so that I can sit here and act like an asshat on fucking YouTube regularly with all my fucking porno pictures covered up in the background and listen to all you people tell me how old and terrible I look and abuse me in the comments. Like, why am I doing this? Why would I sit here and risk the future of my entire family? I have a 787 credit score right now. I'm about to blow up my credit, lose my house, lose everything I spent. I spent the last 10 to 15 years working to build, 20 years working to build, all because I don't want somebody to tell me that I can't run my mouth on fucking YouTube. It's stupid, right? I can't do it. I don't think I can do it. Fuck you, dude. I feel like Elon Musk, and I know this is a bad example. You know the time when Elon was sitting there and he was saying basically that, Disney was threatening to pull their ad revenue because his content, he was allowing certain content, he was allowing certain people to be on his platform, and he was like, fuck you. You're threatening me with money? Fuck you. I don't need your money, Bob Iger at fucking Disney. Of course, X is a total shit show now. It's going in the toilet. It's probably going to fail. Elon's got a lot of brilliant ideas. I'm not sure that was the smartest of them. But in the spirit of it, but I share in the spirit of it. It's like, fuck you. If the only way I can get a job in this world is to pretend to be somebody I'm not, then I don't want to fucking be in this world. I don't want to work in this world. I don't want to work for a person who makes me fucking pretend. 'Cause the thing is, I'm not going to succeed at it. I could take my YouTube channel down right now. I could delete everything. I could probably like mute it or something, hide it so I don't like lose everything. I could do that right now and get this job and fucking bend over for the man. But that's not going to change who I am. It's like I'm still going to be me, and that shit's going to creep through eventually. And then I still risk losing everything just because at the end of the day, they didn't like who I was. They wanted me to be somebody I'm not in order to fucking hire me. And I'm never going to sell myself out. I'm not going to change who I am to fucking appease anybody else on this fucking planet. Who do these people think they fucking are? Who do they think they are? The fucking label company? Sell fucking labels for a living? I should sanitize my lifestyle so I can go sell fucking labels for a living? Suck my fucking dick. And speaking of sucking dicks, that made me think of something else. If I'm not going to delete my YouTube channel, then I got to go in. I got to go all in. That's the thing. Basically, we have an A-B situation. Option A is I have to fucking bend over and take it. I have to fucking bend the knee to the man. I have to stop being truthful, stop being real, stop being honest, take down all of my fucking crazy content. I probably couldn't even safely talk about steroids. I'd have to go back to the original days of Bob Does Steroids, where I pretended like I was doing research for a third party and I interviewed some guy named Bob, and Bob told me this, but I was Bob. I still get people every day asking, who's Bob? It's like, are you fucking all retarded? But the thing is if I keep doing this content, number one, it's not paying the bills. I need way more viewership than I currently have. And this is not getting it. And since I'm probably not going to stop fucking my wife, you know where this is going, right? I think what society is doing is forcing me to go back to being a pornographer. I don't know any other option, guys. What am I supposed to do? I feel like every 20-year-old girl on the planet right now. I found this girl on Instagram the other day. Sav Cannon is her name. It's like Savannah Cannon, but her address is Sav Cannon. I think you should look her up. She does every video. She's like a conservative voice. She talks about all conservative topics, but she wears like this tight little shirt and these like tight like yoga pants. And I'm not gonna do the pose for you, don't worry. But she sits with her legs up and her legs spread. Unfortunately, she doesn't have like a big camel toe to show off, and she's got her pretty little feet. So she's got her legs spread and her pretty little feet in the frame, and then she just talks about conservative topics. And I'm so dumb as a man. Like I so want to believe that every girl is the princess. Like I still haven't given up the hope that I'm gonna meet the princess one day. And so I'm showing my wife this girl, and I'm like, this girl's got a 200 IQ. Look at her. She's not doing anything sexual. It's kind of sexual, right? It's like sexual adjacent because her legs are spread. She's showing you her feet. She's in this sexualized pose, but she's not breaking any rules. She's not talking about anything dirty. She's talking about purely conservative topics. And I'm like, this girl has a 200 IQ. She's hooking in all of these guys like me who see this young, cute girl talking about topics that we agree with, and we can get our jollies a little bit by staring between her legs and looking at her cute feet. That's all I thought it was. I was that dumb. I thought like that's all she did. That was her shtick. Like she had just cornered the market on being kind of sexy and making political content. What an idiot. What do you think she was doing? What do you guys think? Does anybody in the audience know what I was too stupid to fucking realize? I couldn't believe it. And I was wounded when I found out. So one day her content comes up, and I look at it, it's like, oh, new content. And as soon as I see the title on it, I can feel my soul starting to leave my body. And it says, as a conservative, how do you justify doing OF? I'm like, really? Of course. She's a fucking OF girl. She's a conservative OF girl. Of course but I was dumb enough to believe that this was just an otherwise really pure girl who was just being a little bit sexy and not, a total fucking OF girl that has just found a way to market herself safely on Instagram, which is still a 200 IQ move. Don't let me take it away from her. I have been this close like 3 times to pushing subscribe on that shit because now I really want to know. Generally, I don't really care. Like some girls, like I find out some girl is like an OF girl. Like a lot of guys are like, I got to see her naked. This one's starting to get to me where I'm like, it's $20. Like I just want to know. And again, so down that vein, I told my wife, I was like, I think we gotta go back to doing OnlyFans. That's the only thing that's gonna save the marriage. Because here's the way I look at it, right? The marriage is falling apart. It's in the shitter. Emotionally, things are fucking wrecked. They're probably never gonna get any better because I don't have any. So what we've discovered is that my wife and I speak 2 totally different languages. This is what I was trying to explain in the preface. In the last video, I was talking about the language, and some of you guys got it, and some of you guys totally fucking missed it. My brain doesn't process affective empathy. Okay, so the words I love you, I care about you, warmth, compassion, these things don't have any value to me. They don't do anything for me. What clicks to my psychopath brain is desire, lust, cravings. They're action items. That's the way my brain works. It's like things that trigger dopamine. So like if my wife comes over and she wants me to just hold her, like I can do that, but I don't feel anything doing that. So what I've figured out is that she says I love you, and that doesn't mean anything to me. I want her. I desire her. I crave her. I get to me love, the meaning of love, when you love someone in an intimate context. Because that's what I've been saying. Like I love my son and daughter. I love my parents. I don't know why we use the same word that we use for our kids, for our sexual partner. What kind of sickness? Like, no wonder the world is full of pedophiles. Why would you mix those two things? The love that I have for my wife is directly connected to our sexual relationship. That's the only reason we're together. That's the difference between platonic and romantic, is sex. If you are in a relationship with a woman that you're not having sex with, then she's just your friend. That's what it is. She's your friend. The second you start fucking, now you're in a romantic relationship. You're in a sexual relationship. The dividing line between platonic and intimate is sex. And yet we don't have any differentiating term to describe the person who should be the only person on earth that we have certain feelings for. So when I say I love you to my wife, I've never understood why that's sufficient. It's not sufficient. The feelings that I have for my wife come from the overdrive of my sexual attraction, lust, desire to please her, touch her, feel her, be inside of her. It's the sexual part of the relationship that makes it anything other than a friendship. And so that's why I say I need her to need me sexually. That's what conveys love to me. Bringing me my drink in the morning, cooking my meals, like being a shoulder to cry on. Again, those are all things you can get in a platonic relationship. Those are things you can get from a fucking maid. Those are things you can do for yourself. The single dividing factor in a relationship, an intimate relationship, is the sex. That's the only thing that is different from any other relationship. That's it. And somehow women there's women all over social media who's like, I shouldn't have to sleep with my husband. My body doesn't belong to him. I shouldn't have. What are you talking about? Sex should be an absolute legal requirement in a marriage. Like, what do you mean? There's no fucking, and you people who are married and don't have sex, somebody make it make sense. What the fuck are you doing? Why in the fucking world would you saddle yourself to one human being that you're not even fucking? To me, that is the absolute definition of insanity. And it's why I demand sex from my wife a minimum of once a day. There's just no other condition where I'd possibly be in this relationship. It's complete insanity. And so, now I got completely off the topic, but it blows my mind. And so what I was telling her is, even if we get divorced, we're going to hook up. That's what's going to happen. We're going to keep hooking up until one of us finds somebody else to be with. Except that's not going to be you, okay? Because she's going to have to get with, if my wife leaves me for another man, it's going to have to be like Derek Lunsford. You know what I mean? This guy's going to have to be a fucking giant, okay? And that might not even be enough because I'm a fucking psychopath. You think I'm going to let my wife leave me and fall in love with another man and not do every single thing I can to destroy her fucking happiness? 100% I'm going to do that. 100% I'm going to do that because I'm a psychopath. I don't fucking care. I only care about me. When you marry me, that's a one-way ticket. The only way she gets out of this marriage clean and clear is if I fall in love with somebody else. If my wife ever really wants to leave this marriage and be free and clear of me and have me never bother her for the rest of her life, the best maneuver she would make, it's not filing for divorce, it's not running away, it's not fucking leaving. None of that's going to work. If you want to get rid of me, what you do is you find your own replacement. That's what she would have to do. She would need to go out. If she was like, I am done with this guy, I want to get the fuck away from this guy, I don't want him to ever bother me again, all she has to do is go find me somebody else. Just set me up on a date with some other girl that I'll fall madly in love with and totally forget she even existed. Then she's free to go do whatever. My ex-wife, I don't bother her at all. I don't talk to her at all. But when she left and I didn't have another girl yet, ooh, I was fucking her shit up left and right. I was this close to fucking her boyfriend's ex-wife. That's how dirty I was getting. I was on the phone with her new boyfriend's ex-wife, and we were both scheming on starting a relationship with the express purpose of just fucking Amanda and her and Trey's shit up because they had kids together and Amanda had my kids, and that's how crazy I am. I will go out of my way just to fuck your shit up because I get off on that. See, that's fun for me. That's psychopathic fucking supply for me. So you don't get to leave me and go be happy with somebody else. Best of luck. You better go into witness protection. That's about the only way it's going to work. So we're probably going to keep sleeping together is what's going to happen. And I decided that the best way to facilitate this is just create a business. If she starts doing OnlyFans, and she basically just lists it as her own project, her own private project, and she's doing private content only. So instead of having to post all the videos and the pictures and do all the content, just do private on request content and just label me as her fuckboy. I'll just be her fuckboy. So she can I do solo content, I do boy on girl content, whatever content, but the viewer requests private content, then she can decide whether she wants to fucking agree to it or not, whether she wants to do it or not. You know, we've already done similar things. We've had all kinds of stuff up there for one flat rate fee, and it just doesn't work. What I figured out is where the money's at is in private chat and private content. That's what people want. They want that personalized touch. And so I've got an entire business plan in my head that will allow us to do that without trespassing on any of our own personal boundaries. Because again, with me, I have my own kink. That's the only reason. A lot of people are like, how could you do OF with your wife? It's because nobody's touching her. Nobody touches my wife. You can look, but you can't touch. I don't mind somebody looking. I get off on that shit. I love it when somebody looks at my wife and wants what I have. If somebody is willing to pay to watch my wife do something that I'm recording or I'm a part of because they want what I have that badly, psychopathic supply. See, because it's not about emotions with me. I don't have any emotional connection. You're not wounding my little fucking feelings. This is utilitarian. Total utility here. And so again, because my expression of love for my wife is purely sexual, I can turn that business into a never-ending expression of love for her, which would be a total paradox. In a normal feeling person, you would have to not give a shit about that's what people probably think. He must not care about his wife at all. If he could do that, I could never let somebody look at my wife naked. It's like, yeah, but I don't have those feelings, dude. That doesn't land anywhere for me. If it lands anywhere at all, it's excitement. I love taking her out in sexy ass dresses and watching dudes check her out. They just can't touch. That's the rules. You just can't touch. You can want all you want. I get off on other people wanting what I have. That's the whole reason for wearing Louis Vuitton shit around town, for driving a nice car, for having an attractive wife. The whole thing for a psychopath is I want the attention that things that I have get. My wife's not leaving me for some loser on fucking OnlyFans. I don't give a shit. If some guy wants to pay her $100 an hour to go sit in there and chat on the fucking phone, good. Go talk to him. Go tell him all the stories I don't want to fucking hear. She's got a never-ending supply of fucking he said, she said stories. And if some loser wants to pay money to listen to her talk, good, great. We both win. She gets to socialize. I get fucking paid. I get to sit on my ass and play fucking video games. She gets to sit on her ass and play fucking video games. We have tons of sex anyway. So if we make some extra content for the purposes of somebody else getting off to it, who's being harmed here? Nobody. Nobody's being harmed here. It's like I said, you know, I got over the idea of like truly being able to own the privacy of your wife. You know, like in the Bible it says, thou shalt not uncover thy neighbor's wife's nakedness or some shit. Basically, you shouldn't look at your neighbor's wife naked. That was the attitude I used to have. I used to have the attitude that no one should ever see my wife naked or anything even remotely related to sex. Like, I was like super old school like that. And then I was like, but she goes to a gynecologist. So of course I had to get like a female gynecologist. But then it's like, you know, so then her breast implant surgeon was a guy. She's had a male doctor most of her life. He does breast exams with bare hands, no gloves on. He's touching my fucking wife, which of course she's never going to go to this guy again. But once I figured out, like, if you think that no one's looking at your wife naked, you guys out there who are like, I would never let my wife do so-and-so on fucking, you know, I can't believe he shares her. Dude, you're sharing your wife with a lot of men, dude. I hate to say that. Chances are you weren't the only guy in her life before you got together. So that ship sailed already. There's no telling how many dicks have been in her life in one form or fashion or another before you got together. Then assuming she's been faithful, there's that. Then assuming she doesn't have her own little private fucking pornography habit, there's that. And then there's how she goes to the doctor for surgeries, for this, for that. There's a million ways. There's a million ways in life that somebody is not only going to see, but touch your naked wife. And so if you think you're protecting her whatever the fuck that is, you're not. That's just a lie that you're telling yourself. All of these are just lies you're telling yourself. And so young girls these days have figured this out. That's what they figured out. It's like they figured out the reason all the hot girls are on OF is because they're like, well, we've been sleeping with guys for free. Right? Like, young girls are dating guys. They're going out on dates. They're giving away BJs. They're having sex in the backseat of cars. They're doing all this thing, and the most they're getting out of the deal is what? Chili's? A date night at Chili's? I mean, if you're an attractive 18-year-old girl and you're not on OnlyFans, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life. You're dating regular guys, and you're like trying to protect what? You're going to end up sleeping with on average 7 to 10 guys at a minimum. That's sex. How many other dicks are going to be in and around somewhere, and you didn't make anything on that. Whereas you could be only visual. You could be doing content that people can only see. They've never touched you, exchanged any fluids, nothing, and you could be making an absolute killing. If you're going to tell me that there is more psychological damage to a girl who is only doing things behind the camera versus the young girl who's playing the field physically and exposing herself to STDs and pregnancies and abortions and all that, it's nonsense. Complete nonsense. And so maybe what saves the marriage is a business relationship. Because even if we get divorced, we still have to sleep together for business. And since I can't get hired to do anything else, I figure I have two choices in the matter. I've either got to completely delete this YouTube channel, or I've got to double and triple down and find every single conceivable way that I can supplement whatever income I can get. Because somebody's going to hire me. Somebody's not going to give a shit, right? I may not get the $200,000 a year job, but somebody's going to hire me to do something. So maybe I have to take some 70K a year job, because that's not... Actually, I was looking... I'll get into the embalmer story another day. But I think that's what's going to happen. Because right now, where we're at, the update is we've moved all the bills that we can move to credit cards. We've moved to credit cards. So we're minimizing the outgoing cash flow. We're trying to decide whether or not to put the house on the market immediately or start taking offers. Because the thing is, we only owe $180K on our house. So, and it's worth $500, right? So, but it's not good. It's not in good condition because I knock holes in the walls a lot. I've actually been patching a few of them recently. But so I told her, I was like, worst case scenario, we just sell this thing fast, right? Like, yeah, we're going to lose our ass, but we're not going to lose because we bought the house for $255,000. We owe 180-ish, 170, something like that. Let's say market value is 500. I could list the thing as is, and when people come in here and go, whoa, like, there's no carpet in this room, and this, and I go, you know what? Make me an offer. Okay? Yeah, you're right. There's no carpet in that room. But guess what? You get to pick your own carpet. And the walls that are all fucked up, you get to choose your own paint. This is a choose your own kind of house. Even if I had to eat 100K, which there's no way, right? I could pay a fucking general contractor to come in here and perfectly patch all the holes, repaint, retexture, put some fucking carpet down. We've already got quotes for carpet. I could probably spend 20K tops making this house totally ready to sell, okay? So if it's worth 500 and I put 20K into it, and then I say, look, we just have to unload it quick. So we just give it away. Right? So it's worth 500. I put 20 in it to make it worth 500. And we take 450 and somebody gets a massive steal. We still walked with a big ass giant load of cash. And we already have ways of living, camping, traveling, doing whatever. I mean, at a bare minimum, we could sell the house so that we don't lose it and clear a lot of money and then reassess what the fuck we're going to do from there. So there's a lot of options. It's just the fact that, time is collapsing. We've got 15 days to make a mortgage payment. And then the clock is really ticking. You missed that first payment. Now all of a sudden we're in some shit. So, that's what's coming next. So I suspect my wife may not go for it, and I'm not going to force her. I may get done making this video, replay it, really think through having to do OnlyFans again and be like, fuck that, dude. I don't want to do that. It's going to ruin we have a great sex life. All it's going to do is ruin it. And we just got to bite the bullet and, I'll just go get a job like as a Walmart greeter or something. Maybe I could get a job at Walmart, or I'll go work at like Sunglass Hut in the mall, and make like 30K. Figure it out. In closing, if anybody made it this far, maybe I'll open the next video. I meant to open this video with this. Somebody in the comments asked, it was funny because like a lot of you guys, I think, didn't believe me. When I said I was going to crash out, a lot of you were like, yeah, Mike, he's always going to do some shit, right? It's 15 days until we miss a mortgage payment, guys. This shit's for real. And so in the comments in the last video, people started to be like, oh shit, like, dude, are you sure you really want to do this? And one guy was like, are you scared? And this is the honest to God answer. I mean, surely you can see it in my personality. Not only am I not scared, I'm fucking exhilarated. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's not stressful. It is stressful. But shit like this is food for a psychopath. I am way better off mentally right now playing all of the mind games of how we could beat the man by doing YouTube and OnlyFans or whatever, like ways or how we can scam the credit card companies, or like in this kind of high pressure scenario, that's when I feel most alive. When I was sitting on the stand facing 12 years in prison, I felt alive. When I was homeless, living on the street, panhandling for money, chasing a drug addiction, I felt alive. When I feel the worst in life, when I get down and depressed and miserable, is when I have it made. If they had given me this if somebody just said, you know what, Mike, we just think you're such a great guy, we're just going to give you $200,000 a year, and we just want you to keep just making YouTube content, just don't change anything, I would probably be fucking miserable. When life is easy, when it's boring, when it's the same old thing every day, like psychopaths can't cope with boredom. And so what we do is we create chaos so that we can feel alive. I would much rather be living in a state of chaos than one of total comfort, because the comfort to a psychopath is actually painful. Boredom to me is excruciating. It psychologically hurts me. I would much rather be in some kind of, I would rather be in Iraq ducking IEDs or, walking through a minefield than just having some comfortable living. I would be sooner ready to off myself just being a billionaire without a want or need in the world than I would be living on the street. trying to make ends meet, because that level of excitement and novelty makes life worth living. And when I was just laid back, like you guys saw the videos, I've made a bunch of them. When I had all that money that I took out of the bank, when I took out our retirement, we'd been traveling for a while and we came back and I didn't get a job immediately. There's videos on my channel of me walking the block, just depressed, just ready to check out of here. And I said in the video, I have no reason to be unhappy. I've got a beautiful wife. I've got great kids. I've got a great house in a great neighborhood. I love my car. I don't want for anything. Like, I should have been the happiest guy in the world. And I was literally seriously contemplating ways to check out of here. Right now, when I'm facing losing everything I just spent the last 20 years building, I feel totally fucking alive. For better or worse, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. So I said I didn't think I would go past 30 minutes. This has been 45. If this is any proof, is it, God, one of the things the guys did say in my interview, they asked me a million questions, and he asked me this one question, and I answered it, and he said, the guy said, Mike, I got to tell you, that is the best, longest answer I've ever heard in an interview, ever. And I've done a lot of interviews. So maybe this is exactly why I didn't get the job, because I am too fucking long-winded. And you sick bastards out there, some of you, if you're still listening to this, you're one of them. You sick bastards will sit here and listen to me talk about nothing for 46 minutes. Go get yourself some help. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.